Okay guys, we're doing a little something different here. It's been a little while since I've done stuff like this, but we're going to be replacing the primer bulb on this Weedeater Featherlite. We're going to make a little short on this. So the primer bulb's cracked, we got a new air filter, we got new fuel lines, and a new primer bulb. So let's go ahead and get it in. We're going to take these screws out and take the carburetor off. Now from what it looks like we're going to just be using this. We might have to splice it to make it a little bit smaller. And then we're going to be adding it in here, the shaft. So we're taking the line off of here, off the top part, and off of the part of the primer here. And the carburetor is off. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. We did break this fuel line here, so we might replace that. And then we're going to start assembling it back together. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Use some carburetor cleaner. We're just going to spray this off here. Just really get it as good as you can. You don't have to get it perfect. We're just cleaning the outside of it, just to get it all nice and clean. And then we are going to let it dry out, and we will start disassembling it. It looks like we just got to take this screw out, and then we should be able to slide this whole shaft out and go from there. All right, so we just inspected this line, and oh my goodness, is this line bad. So we're gonna have to replace this whole line, and we're gonna go ahead and throw a new fuel filter on here as well. I found some smaller diameter line that will work for it. Looks like we got a couple feet here, maybe a foot or so, foot and a half left. So we're going to obviously figure out the right size, and then we will chop it from the top. So we're just gonna start feeding it in, and then we'll chop at the top part. So once we get it all fed in, and then we'll get a new fuel filter for it as well, and we should be good to go to start reassembling everything. Now, as you guys can see, I got the fuel line started inside there. So what we're going to do is keep feeding it through, and then I'm going to try to get some needle nose pliers on that and try to pull it through, help its way through. That way we're not going to pinch the line, break the line or anything, and then we can chop that little part off, put a fuel filter on, and then we will figure out how much we need from here, and we will splice off. It's been a while. I'm just fixing the Weedeater for my grandfather, if you guys were wondering what I am doing and why I wanted to make a quick little video, because I thought this would be very simple and kind of teach you guys a little bit on some small engine stuff, because I know it's been a while since I've done that, and I still have the knowledge. I know what I'm doing when it comes to small engines. We did find a fuel filter. I actually found a few of them, so that's pretty cool, and some extra line, which we don't need, but that's super cool. So other than that, we're going to go ahead and get this fed in. We're going to go ahead and get some needle nose pliers, get the line fed in, get the fuel filter on, and then we'll be able to take the primer bulb off the carburetor and get everything reassembled. Well, I couldn't find needle nose. We're going to go ahead and use a pick. So what we're going to do is stick it inside there and pull through. So as you guys see, we're going to obviously have to cut this part off before we put the fuel filter on. But if you guys can see, I can easily pull this through, get as much as you can, make sure it goes all the way down to the tank in the bottom. So I normally like to just stretch it out a little bit, go all the way to the bottom of the tank, and then the rest we'll just cut off from the top. So I'd say that's going to be sufficient there, because we're going to cut this little bit off, and then it'll just float down in the bottom of the tank like it should. We're just going to cut this end off here, just like that. And then we're going to put the fuel filter on. Okay, so we got the fuel filter on. We can go ahead and just drop that back down in the tank. Boom, shaka boom on that. So now all we need to do is start getting this part off, which should just be pretty simple. Just take that screw out, and then this whole arm here should slide out, and then we'll have to put the spring and stuff onto this one, slide it on, screw it down, and we should be good to go. Now, when you slide this shaft out, make sure you keep a hold of this as you're unscrewing that screw. Keep this kind of compressed, because this could just fling out, but just slowly let it slide out, and then take the spring off, and then we can go ahead and put the new one back on. Guys, so this part is back on. So we got the primer on. Now we can go ahead and reassemble. All right, we got it back assembled. Fuel lines are all hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and throw the new air filter in there as well. New air filter in there. Go ahead and put this cover back on. And we are done with that part. Let's go ahead and start it up. All right, so how you start this thing is you got to push this in, starts throttle lock, and then we're going to start sucking fuel in with the new primer bulb. Just let fuel kind of build up in there. It says 10 times, so we're going to do that. And we should be good to go ahead and fire it up. Seems like it's idling kind of high. I haven't used this trimmer in a long time, so I'm going to turn the idle down. That's about right. And there we are. Weedeater is fixed. New primer bulb, new fuel lines, good to go. All right, if you guys want to see more videos, be sure to comment, rate, subscribe for more videos. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Still Fun One signing out. Peace.